Welcome back to Kamen Review, episode 194. We're reviewing episodes of Kamen Zeztz. Episodes 3 through 7. 3, now, the thing is, at this point, it's basically a bunch of two-parters. 3, it picks up with the whole thing of, like, the mysterious bomber and the fact that Fujima, he's the guy in charge of Paranormal Activities Division. And also the fact that when he gets a meeting with his superior at the Public Security Bureau, because he doesn't believe in the public security stuff, he decides to disband it. Well, that's the next episode. And he's not very happy with it, so basically, in a way, indirectly, he's causing the bomber to come to the real world. 3 also introduces the concept of the mind doors. Basically, it is just these doors. If all doors open, the night becomes the real world. And they also introduce this really cool concept of where Baku, when he finds these doors, he looks in the keyhole and he finds out what exactly their dream is. And Fuja is basically blowing at the police headquarters. Yeah, first time I could think of this place. I don't think it's featured in a lot of Kamen Rider series since Agato. I don't know if it was featured at all. I know it was not featured in Ryoki, O's, and 4Z. I know those 3 it was not featured in. The other ones I don't know because I haven't seen a lot of the Kamen Rider series from the Heisei era yet. And of course, Zeztz is the first one of the Reiwa era I've ever watched. Yes, this is the very first one. You're thinking, really? Of all the ones to watch Reiwa, you watched the recent one? Yeah, because there's not many episodes. I figured to get this quickly. There will be another Reiwa series come out soon, review, and they'll be coming. They'll be coming 2 after Decade, because Decade next thing watch. So we actually see what happens when a nightmare comes to the real world. Like, all doors are open, and then he comes to the real world. Baku comes Zeztz in the real world, and then beats him, and then, kind of in a way, Fuja basically is happy like nightmare is over. And by the next episode, the Paranormal Activities Division is not officially reactivated, more like unofficially. So, in 4 and 5, one of the most weirdest things happens. So, basically, the whole thing is, this one is protect the VIP bride. And we start off with basically Baku posing as a priest, marrying off the VIP bride, who is the daughter of the Minister of Internal Affairs. And we also have our child friend trying to stop them, and of course, they tend to repeat their wedding a few times over the course of this two-parter. And you think like, oh, the child friend might be responsible for going after, in the dreams, going after the bride. Not exactly, no. Well, and then something really weird happens. So he takes a picture, and he wakes up, and it's cold in his room, because his window's been open. And then he discovers his closet door is open. He goes inside, and it's Fukuja and his partner, Nakata. Yeah. They decided to break into his room and discover this other room. And it's mentioned by Zero that he has no problem with being here. Outside help. They get good useful. Oh, by the way, their boss they report to, he does not appear again. He only appeared in 3 and beginning of 4. And then, like, nothing afterwards. I mentioned about the black cases. So, he basically is up to speed. Of course, the interview goes, oh yeah, I'm Age of Code. Go by Codename 7. And of course, also he's running the NEM. So, he actually, now, in the case of the previous episode, he discovered where the doors were. In the case of Fuji's mind, it was actually the Paranormal Activities truck that he has their base in. And this is not some office. This is just some truck that this is a military truck that he. The only way to enter is that you kind of roll into the place. Yes. And apparently he sleeps there. Yeah. I guess because he has an apartment of his own. So, Nightmare, okay, how to stop Nightmare. Nightmare, this one is basically a crow a crow person. Yep, it's a crow. Sent by our main villain to do Nightmare. So I think, oh, maybe the childhood friend's responsible for this. Nope. The whole thing is caused by the bride. And you think because, oh, maybe they want her. No, she's not nervous about the wedding. She's nervous about the honeymoon. As we do in part 2 of the story. So he finds out where the mind doors are. Now, when he meets her in real life, outside the dream, she does not know who she is. Who he is. That's not the case the very next episode. Oh no, it is not the case at all. So, and he finds the doors inside of this big tree, where she met her childhood friend who's had a thing for her. And so apparently her nightmare is that she thinks that she's going to crash an airplane. So, aids to find the crow in the nightmare in the dream world and beats him, thanks to his new flight ability. Yes, this Kamen can fly with special wings. Yeah, one of his many modes, and he beats him. Really interesting two-parter. I like this two-parter that they have here. Yeah, so that was the Crow Nightmare. But all in all, 4 and 5 were damn good. I enjoyed I like basically all the spy elements they still have here for this one. So, 4 debuted Circum Wing, which actually is lost in the fly. So apparently, this is episode 5, his debut of the Telcom Stream, which apparently previously appeared in Zetz's actual early bird cameo in Kamen Gov Invasion of the Invaders of House of Snacks. Yeah. At least basically Kamen still does the early bird cameo. Sentai has officially stopped doing that after the introduction of, I think it was after Q Ranger that was the last one they did with. Yes, that was the last one because, Blue Ranger for the Panther Rangers didn't do that. So, I mean, could you say that the movie itself, Kamen Gov, is that set between episodes for Zeztz? Basically, it just set after episode 5. That's basically where it's set. I probably will watch that at some point. When? You'll find out and see. And then basically, we finally do some with Nem. So he wakes up in a prison with Nem and what appears to be her parents. Actually, they're not. They're more like her adopted parents because Nem was an orphan found by the guy who she claimed to be her father. This is Boji and Rinko, who he thinks parents, but actually they're just basically. See, Benji is basically her agent, who kind of raised her as his own daughter, and we see in his office he has sort of an obsession with her. To the point he has a shrine in his office to her, and we kind of get detail exactly about her backstory of like why she's in Dream World. So. Yeah. So, basically, they're trapped in the prison. It turns out it's the actual nightmare. Yeah, which at this point, this is the biggest nightmare of the whole series at this point. This is an actual prison nightmare. So, basically, how should I put this? So, they kind of reveal that, Nem and the president involved in an accident 4 years from the show, so I'm presuming this is in 2025, so my guess is this is probably happening while, I'm guessing when Saber was going on, presumably. That's if this connection between them. So my guess happened in 2021 where there was a bus crash, and he was perfectly fine, but Nem ended up in a coma, and then she basically didn't wake up. She wasn't dead, and then one day she went to go visit, and she just disappeared. Yeah, they reveal exactly where she is at, kind of where she is at the end of episode 7. So you also fight, of course, in the prison has his own grunt monsters, these chainsaw robots, which our villain basically kind of has his first confrontation with him. They're not actually fighting per se. He does see him. He does ask who he is. Doesn't reveal who he is just yet. And throughout this, basically, like, Renko apparently left basically her husband because of reasons. Probably because basically of his constant worrying where in the world that Nem is. Though basically she's able to figure out exactly. Well, then he's able to break the robots that does protection, and then he finds out what the actual weak point is, because apparently they're on the top floor of this prison. Apparently, even though it looks like a giant warehouse. A multi-story warehouse, mostly. And, look, it's the brain. And then he basically breaks outside, he flies a bit, battles these giant eyes, does the rider kick, and destroys the brain, destroying the prison. And then pretty much basically he does a mission for himself to find Nem, and then it's revealed she kind of is a location where Nux is, with no medical equipment. How he got her there is not very clear, and that's a mission probably going to explore throughout the whole show. I mean, we're only 7 episodes in, but at least we kind of unveil exactly kind of where she is, but not really. All we know is that at this point she's in some building with the red moon thing, maybe in Dream World, maybe the real world. It's not very clear. And apparently she's been guiding people with bad dreams. Interesting. But overall, great episodes. And I have 4 more to go, and then pretty much I'm done. Yep, I am pretty much done. Well, I'm up to date with Zeztz. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much a particular video. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up, more Kamen Zeztz. Okay, next video. Bye.